When Superman launched last year, it felt like the bleeding had finally stopped. It was a critical darling. It made over $600 million, and it gave the franchise a unified direction. But Supergirl was supposed to be the true test, the movie that proved this universe could sustain distinct cosmic stories without relying on Clark Kent to carry the box office. Instead, it has completely cratered. We're looking at a disastrous 74 to 76% second weekend collapse. The movie opened to a measly $62 million worldwide, and just 2 weeks in, as of the recording of this video, it is barely crawling past the $100 million mark against a massive $170 million production budget. It is officially a box office bomb, putting it in the exact same conversation as The Marvels, The Flash, and Blue Beetle. The narrative online is already getting ugly, with factions blaming everything from superhero fatigue to toxic fan backlash. But the truth behind this failure is a mix of terrible pre-release tracking, brutal word of mouth, and behind-the-scenes panic that contradicts the very promise James Gunn made when he took over DC. Today, we're breaking down the anatomy of a franchise disaster, what actually killed Supergirl at the box office, and what this means for the survival of the DCU. To understand why Supergirl bombed, you have to look at the warning signs that the studio actively tried to ignore during the rollout. Pre-release tracking started at a soft but manageable $55 million domestically, but as tickets went on sale, that number didn't climb, it steadily deflated, dropping into the mid-40s. The studio tried to build early hype, even leaning into claims that a surge in ticket demand had crashed the AMC app, but the internet quickly fact-checked it via community notes, revealing it was just a standard app glitch, not an overwhelming wave of fan demand. The organic interest simply wasn't there. When the movie finally dropped, it was immediately crushed in a summer sandwich. It had to compete with the second weekend of Toy Story 5 and a massive, unexpected block of general audience counter-programming. Because the general public didn't feel a burning need to see a spin-off character, the movie relied entirely on the hardcore comic book crowd. And when that crowd split on the final product, the floor completely fell out. A 74% drop in weekend 2 means general audiences didn't just skip opening weekend, they actively avoided the movie once the first wave of reviews hit the timeline. The toxic word of mouth didn't happen in a vacuum. It was fueled by a lukewarm critical reception and a growing online narrative that the film was a disjointed mess. And as it turns out, industry reports confirmed exactly why the final product felt so fractured. The movie was a victim of the exact same studio panic that ruined the old DCEU. Reports revealed that Supergirl went through a turbulent post-production period, featuring a formal bake-off between two competing cuts of the film, one assembled by director Craig Gillespie and another stitched together by the studio under James Gunn after disastrous test screenings. Writer Jeremy Slater was reportedly brought in for late reshoots to throw in MCU-style humor and forced cameos, including Jason Momoa's Lobo and Superman himself, to try and save a sinking ship. This is a massive blow to the identity of the new DCU. When James Gunn and Peter Safran took the reins of DC Studios, their core thesis statement to the fans was simple: no movie would go into production without a finished, locked script, specifically to avoid the reactionary, note-driven, chaotic filmmaking that destroyed Zack Snyder's universe. The behind-the-scenes drama on Supergirl completely shatters that promise. It tells audiences that when the pressure is on, DC Studios will still resort to stitching together Frankenstein cuts in the editing room. Word of mouth caught on to that lack of cohesive vision, and the internet punished them for it. So where does DC go from here? The damage control is already underway, with reports indicating that Warner Bros. Is cutting its losses and rushing Supergirl to a premium digital and VOD release on July 28th, barely a month after it debuted in theaters. It is a total surrender. But the macro problem is what this does to Chapter 1 of the DCU, titled Gods and Monsters. This failure proves that the DC brand is still deeply damaged in the eyes of the mainstream public. Superman wasn't a permanent cure, it was just a temporary shield. The moment DC asked audiences to invest in a lesser-known character,
the audience reverted to their old habits of skipping DC projects. This puts immense pressure on the upcoming slate. Gunn's strategy relies on taking massive, weird swings on deep-cut properties, but if a core character like Supergirl can't even clear 150 million worldwide, what happens when they release a risky R-rating body horror film like James Mangold's Swamp Thing or a Clayface project? The financial safety net is gone. Investors and executives are going to start demanding safer, more predictable projects, which directly clashes with the auteur-driven universe Gunn promised to build. Ultimately, Supergirl isn't just a financial loss, it's a massive reality check. It proves that building a cinematic universe in 2026 is infinitely harder than it was a decade ago. Audiences are no longer willing to buy a ticket just because a movie has a superhero logo attached to it or promises to set up a sequel 5 years down the road. James Gunn showed he could make a great solo film with Superman, but Supergirl proved that managing an entire ecosystem of directors, budgets, and audience expectations is a different beast entirely. DC wanted this movie to fly high and establish the perimeter of their cosmic universe. Instead, the studio panicked, the audience walked away, and the new DCU has been officially grounded before it ever really took off. Now I want to know from you, is this massive box office collapse proof that audiences are completely done with the DC brand, or is it way too early to start panicking about the future of the DCU? Please let me know all of your thoughts in the comments section below. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell to be notified of future videos. If you want to see more, click here and check out my breakdown as to why Marvel had to destroy Tom Holland's Spider-Man for the new Spider-Man Brand New Day movie. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next time.